was what Blake says, a conversation that she heard had taken place with Steve Sarowitz. Steve Sarowitz is the head of Wayfarer Studios. He is the co-founder of Wayfarer Studios, along with Justin. And she says in this lawsuit that, is it interesting? She says, this is what I heard, he said, but it's presented as a quote in the lawsuit. She says that Steve said, "I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas."
Dear Judge Lyman, as counsel for Wayfarer Studios LLC, Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz, It Ends With Us Movie LLC, Melissa Nathan, the Agency Group PR LLC, and Jennifer Abel, collectively the Wayfarer parties, we write to advise the court of an issue that the Wayfarer parties wish to address at the upcoming conference on Monday, February 3rd, 2025, asking for the gag order and explaining how he's talking too much. He's threatening to post stuff on public sites. So what I think is, this looks good for Baldoni, right? He's like, we want to make it all public. And sometimes lawyers can do this knowing that they can't actually do what they say they're going to do.
He told us that Justin Baldoni claims she tried to take over his movie because she has a history of saying, okay, I'll be the star, but what I secretly want to do is direct it and edit it and produce it. I want all the roles for me and only me. I want full control because I am a controlling bully. That Justin Baldoni, ultimately, by the time they got to the premiere, was mandated by Blake Lively to spend the night in the basement away from his co-stars and didn't even get to see the final cut of his own movie because Blake Lively insisted that she be the one to approve it.
He and 9 other plaintiffs, including his publicists, have brought a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, essentially alleging them of libel and false light invasion of privacy. So Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, he told BBC's partner CBS that the newspaper aided and abetted a smear campaign designed to revitalise Lively's floundering.
Justin says that Blake was determined to make him the real-life villain in her story because she wasn't doing well on the promo tour for the movie. It was very tone-deaf. Her hair care line wasn't doing well. She was trying to sell booze while talking about domestic violence. Justin says the war between himself and Blake really started in May 2023 when they started shooting the movie. He claims that she was organizing a takeover strategy.
And I think that the Justin and Blake stuff is, I think it's a big PR game, and I think that we're all the pawns of it. And also that story I gave you, that's one where I've talked to them. I feel comfortable sharing that much. Like, good luck. There's so many different groups out there.
Blake Lively accused It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni of and retaliation. Lively's complaint accuses Baldoni, who is also the film's director, of creating a hostile work environment and trying to ruin her reputation after she expressed her concerns.
That she became uncomfortable with Justin Baldoni yesterday while she was filming. She states that Mr. Baldoni put his bare hands on her backside and said that he was trying to help her with her posture. Complainant immediately voiced her displeasure with being touched on an intimate part of her body, and Mr. Baldoni responded with, "It's fine. I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone.
You can understand it. They're sort of radioactive. In one breath, Blake Lively is saying she was the subject of serious harassment during the filming of It Ends With Us, and now they're making light of it on SNL's 50th reunion show. So tonally, it does seem off, and I can imagine people just wanting to stay away from it. You're going to catch shrapnel if you get involved in this drama at this point.
Blake Lively is in full panic mode after Wayfarer Studios just dropped new receipts that flip the entire narrative of her legal battle with Justin Baldoni. What started as a quiet dispute between co-stars has now turned into a full-blown Hollywood war, and the latest revelations are not looking good for Lively. For months, Lively has pushed accusations against Baldoni, painting him as the villain in their behind-the-scenes drama on It Ends With Us. But in a shocking twist, Wayfarer Studios just released new information that completely undermines her claims and even raises serious questions about whether Blake orchestrated a smear campaign against Baldoni. How did we get here? And what exactly do these new receipts reveal that has Lively scrambling to do damage control? Let's break it all down. Everything kicked off when anonymous reports surfaced claiming that Justin Baldoni had made actresses uncomfortable during the filming of It Ends With Us. These so-called leaked complaints conveniently appeared online, right as Lively's legal team was preparing to file more allegations against Baldoni. At first glance, the documents seemed damning. They suggested that multiple actresses had raised concerns about Baldoni's on-set behavior and that Sony Pictures had been made aware of the issue. If true, this would have been a massive blow to Baldoni's career. But here's where things start falling apart. Wayfarer Studios, the production company behind the film, just came forward with hard evidence that no such HR complaints were ever filed. In fact, Sony Pictures itself issued a direct statement denying any record of these complaints. That means either the documents were fake, designed to damage Baldoni's reputation, or the leak was an inside job, meant to create a public narrative without any real legal basis. Either way, this completely backfired because now the spotlight is shifting away from Baldoni and straight onto Blake Lively. One of the biggest red flags in this entire situation is how these documents suddenly appeared online at the perfect time for Lively. Reports began circulating on TikTok, Instagram, and gossip sites right as Lively's legal team was preparing to amend her lawsuit against Baldoni. The timing wasn't just suspicious, it felt calculated. The narrative was clear. Someone wanted the public to turn against Baldoni before the case even reached a courtroom. But when Sony denied having any such complaints on record, it raised a serious question. If these complaints were real, why weren't they included in Blake's official legal filings? It's a question that has Hollywood insiders seriously rethinking Lively's role in this drama. Now, here's where things get really bad for Lively. Wayfarer Studios didn't just deny the complaints, they went a step further and provided emails, internal records, and witness statements that directly contradict Blake's claims. Their new receipts reveal that during filming, there were 0 formal complaints against Baldoni. In fact, several crew members who worked closely with both actors have come forward stating that the set was professional and any tension came from creative disagreements, not misconduct. One insider even claimed that Lively and Baldoni barely interacted off-camera outside of scheduled rehearsals and film discussions. If that's true, it seriously damages Lively's case because it suggests that the accusations against Baldoni were blown out of proportion or entirely fabricated. This is the million-dollar question right now. If Lively was directly involved in leaking these so-called complaints, she could be facing serious legal consequences. HR records are highly confidential, and leaking or manipulating them to harm someone's career crosses a major ethical and legal line. Not only could this impact her ongoing legal battle with Baldoni, but it could also damage her credibility in Hollywood. One industry insider said, "Studios don't want to work with actors who leak internal files. It sets a dangerous precedent." If Lively was behind this, it means she took a massive gamble and it failed spectacularly. While Lively is facing serious backlash, Baldoni isn't sitting back quietly. His legal team has already launched an investigation into the source of the leaks and has made it clear that whoever is responsible will be held accountable. Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Friedman, released a statement questioning the validity of the complaints and pointing out major inconsistencies in the leaked documents. He even suggested that the leaks were part of a coordinated smear campaign designed to manipulate public opinion before legal proceedings could properly unfold. And here's the kicker. Baldoni has already filed a $400 million defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and her publicist, alleging that they intentionally spread false accusations to destroy his reputation. If the leaked reports turn out to be fake or manipulated, it could strengthen Baldoni's case significantly, and Lively could end up facing the consequences. This scandal isn't just affecting Lively and Baldoni, it's also sending shockwaves through Hollywood. Industry insiders are taking notice, and some studios are reportedly rethinking future collaborations with Lively. The biggest issue? Trust. If an actor is willing to leak private documents or manipulate information to win a case, it raises concerns about working with them in the future. Some Hollywood executives are already distancing themselves, with one source saying, "No one wants to be dragged into legal drama or risk private company matters being leaked for revenge." Could this scandal end Blake Lively's career? Maybe not immediately, but it's clear that her reputation is taking a serious hit. What was supposed to be a knockout blow to Justin Baldoni has now turned into Blake Lively's worst nightmare. Wayfarer Studios has exposed the holes in her accusations. Sony Pictures has denied any official complaints, and Baldoni is fighting back harder than ever. Instead of ruining Baldoni's career, this entire situation has strengthened his case and weakened Lively's credibility. The question now is, how will Blake Lively recover from this? Because one thing is clear, the tables have turned, and this Hollywood drama is far from over.